steam over the pristine tablecloth. "Good God! Send for a physician!" screamed one of the guests. "The Prince Regent has been poisoned!" Chapter 2. From the chocolate notebooks of Donna Maria Castellano. Chocolate was served during religious rites and celebrations. It was often mixed with such flavourings as vanilla, cinnamon, allspice, chiles, winnicastali, a spicy flower from the custard apple tree, and antiote, which turns the mouth a bright red. The Aztecs also believed that the dried beans of the cacao tree possessed strong medicinal properties. Indeed, warriors were issued cacao wafers to fortify their strength for long marches and the rigours of battle, a fact that Sandro will undoubtedly find of great interest. I, too, have remarked on the nourishing benefits of hot, sweetened chocolate. Steam rose from the boiling water, enveloping the stove in a cloud of moist tropical heat. "Hell!" A hand shot out and shoved the kettle off the hob. Cleaning up after such a feast would likely take another few hours, thought the chef irritably. But that was the price, or was it penance for choosing to work alone? A baleful glance lingered for a moment on the kitchen's work table. The dirty dishes and pots, yet another reminder that the aristocratic asses upstairs were gluttons for decadent foods. More, always more. Their hunger seemed insatiable. But it wasn't as if their appetite for sumptuous pleasures came as any great surprise to Arianna Hadley. Contempt curled the corners of her mouth. Indeed, she had counted on it. Turning away from the puddles of melted butter and clotted cream, she wiped her hands and carefully collected the scraps of paper containing her recipes. The edges were yellowing, the spidery script had faded to the colour of weak tea, and yet she could not quite bring herself to copy them onto fresh sheets of foolscap. They were like old friends, her only friends, if truth be told. And together they had travelled, her hands clenched, crackling the papers. Not that she cared to dwell on the sordid details. They were, after all, too numerous to count. She closed her eyes for an instant. For as far back she could remember, life had been one never-ending journey. Jamaica, St. Kitts, Barbados, Martinique, along with all the specks of Caribbean coral and rock too small to have a name. Foam-flecked, rum-drenched hellholes, awash in rutting pirates and saucy whores. And from there across the ocean to the glittering bastion of civilized society. Ah, yes. Here in London the scurvy scum and sluts were swathed in fancy silks and elegant manners, fine-cut jewels and satin smiles. All thin veneers that hid a black-hearted core of corruption. Tracing a finger over a water-stained page, Arianna felt the faint grit of salt, and wondered whether it was residue from the ocean voyage or one of the rare moments when she had allowed a weak-willed tear. Of late, she had disciplined herself to be tougher, harder. But as the steam wafted over the sticky pots, stirring a sudden haunting hint of island spices, she blinked, and the words blurred, light and dark, spinning into a vortex of jumbled memories. Fire, smoke, the lush scent of sweetness licking up from the flames. "Breathe deeply, ma petite." Her voice lushed with the lilt of the tropics. The mulatto cook leaned closer to the copper cauldron. "Drink in its essence." She sprinkled a grating of cinnamon, a pinch of antiote, over the roasting nibs. "Watch carefully, Arianna. Like life itself, the cacao is even better with a bit of spice. But the mix must be just right. Let me show you." Dark as ebony, Oribe's hands fluttered through the tendril of steam. "Theobroma cacao, food of the gods," she murmured. "Now we must wait for just the right moment to douse the flames. Remember, it's magic, cannot be rushed." From a smaller pot, the cook poured a measure of hot milk into a ceramic cup, adding a spoonful of ground beans, thickened with sugar. She whipped the concoction to a foaming froth with her molinillo. "But patience will be rewarded. Drink this." Then the image of the old servant dissolved, and Arianna found herself staring into the shadows. Shadows. She remembered shifting shapes of menacing black, and the rumblings of thunder from a fast